Hi, this is SandyB with the 90 Day Win Podcast, episode 15. Come get your wins every 90 days. I am so excited to share with you the 90 Day Win Podcast, where we talk to regular people living their goals, achieving their goals a quarter at a time. This episode, we speak with Master Educator, author, speaker, and spiritualist, Queen Yenn. She has regular guided meditation and spiritual wellness events and classes, one-on-one coaching. She is interested in helping individuals looking to heal and manifest their heart's desire. You don't want to miss this episode of the 90 Day Win Podcast with Queen Yenn. Hello. I am so excited today because I get an opportunity to talk with Queen Yenn. Welcome, Queen Yenn, to the 90 Day Win Podcast.
Greetings. Thank you for having me.
I am so glad that you are coming on the show today. Today's show is called Spiritual Wins with Queen Yenn, and I just wanted to talk to you. I've been learning and going on YouTube, looking at some of the videos and things you have going on. So I'd like for you to share with the audience a little about you and the things that you do, if you don't mind.
Okay. So my full name is Yenenga Adania, and many call me Queen Yenn. And I am the founder of Oyun Ministries, which is a ministry that was created to support those who are wanting to grow spiritually, but they're finding that maybe they're not necessarily feeling like they're growing enough with just their regular practice, which usually is like some sort of religion. So a lot of people who end up coming and being involved in the ministry are those who maybe are thinking about switching religion or just spreading their wings a little bit, maybe not denouncing what they've been believing in or worship or practicing, but just want a little more, all the way to people who definitely have decided to learn about different religions and spiritual practices so that they can continue to elevate and develop and grow and manifest and actualize their heart's desire. So OU Ministries provides coaching, also provides things like energy clearings and readings for individuals who are looking for those type of services. There's also a membership associated with it where members, they come on a session with me once a week and also gather in person once a month. And we talk about various spiritual principles that kind of just helps them to truly understand spiritual concepts and how we should be living as spiritual beings so that we can live the most blissful life that we can live. One of our founding principles is that we should be a reflection of the reality of God. And if that is the case, the reality of God is infinite, it's eternal, it's happy, it's peace, it's joyful, it's expansive, all of those different things. So we should be a reflection of that. So the things that I offer, whether they're events or services or products, it's all to support that, helping us to live a beautiful, blissful life as a reflection of the reality of God. And so members are those, I have Christians, Muslims, those who call themselves spiritualists. I have people in their 20s, people in their 50s, their 60s, men, women, these are just individuals who are really seeking to, they know that it's much more than just working, paying bills, acquiring things. They know it's more to life than that. And they're just really trying to get that insight on how they can tap into that feeling, that they know it is definitely much more than that. I met you at Shamba. So OU Ministry is housed at Shamba Cultivating Ground here in Atlanta, in East Point, Georgia, actually, which is right on the outskirts of Atlanta. And Shamba has a beautiful, fertile, flourishing garden outside, about 2 acres of garden outside. And on the inside, there's a beautiful prayer and meditation room, as well as a holistic wellness marketplace. And it all works hand in hand. I teach a lot of the spiritual principles using nature as my analogies And so it's beautiful to teach and do different meditations and prayers and events and things, and able to do it out in the garden and actually commune with nature and see those principles at work. It makes it that much more insightful when you're able to see it there. So yeah, I guess the basics about me. I'm from Atlanta. I'm just a little old girl from Atlanta who grew up and said, you know, who began to listen to the various callings. So, I know that I've been called to do this. My background is in education. For a while, I was doing elementary education in the school system. Then I did a homeschool group for about 5 years. And then I began to train teachers at Georgia State University for about 5 years. And I went from the university system to doing this full time. And I've been doing this for about 8 years now. I've been doing this about 8 years now.
So, wow, you have a lot going on. And I, like you said, I met you at Shamba. I'm sure I've seen you before. And so coming there, can I just tell you, I believe this place is sacred.
Yes,
And I'm
yes,
sure you've heard that before.
yes. I feel it every day, literally every day. I do feel it every day.
I I feel as if when I come there, time doesn't matter. It
Right.
doesn't matter what I have to do. It
Right.
doesn't matter. And I'm learning that I just don't schedule anything on that day when I come because I live about a half an hour away, and I've invited a couple people and they get there before me and they're just like, "Hey, this place is great. Where are you?" And so I am grateful that you have these services and you can tell by being in this place that everyone there, it's purposeful,
Yeah.
you feel it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's when we acquired the place, well, it happened in such a divine way. I actually was the executive coach for the company that used to have this place for about 3 years. And then my co-founder, Ross Kofi, he manned this land for about almost 10 years. So we knew the space. I don't think either one of us really planned on getting the space. We didn't know, we didn't know that one day this would be our, space. So
Yeah.
first of all, that was divine. And then how we acquired it was divine. And just so many different things. It's a tree in the middle of the land that is a black walnut tree, which is black walnut can be used to rid of parasites internally on a physical plane. And in the spiritual plane, black walnut spiritual baths are helpful to rid energetic parasites from your body. So and it's in the middle of the farm. And a sister came and offered her services to paint a symbol on that tree. And we didn't advise on what we wanted. We liked her art, so we said, "Hey, just go for it." And she chose to paint and the protection adinkra, which was like, wow, no one said anything. So that was just one of the small signs as I've been here to see, like, this land has a life of its own, and it's quite sacred. We've been trusted to be stewards of this land. This is not just a business. We are stewards of this land. Both of our mission, Ross Kofi's mission is to teach how life is a farm. So he doesn't just teach gardening or do garden installations and things of that nature. He actually has a curriculum entitled Life is a Farm, and it's a very deep curriculum. And so our work is very synergetic. And then with me, I teach about the moon cycle. I teach about, how agriculture really fueled how our ancestors lived holistically. Agriculture was the thing that they paid attention to, not only in them growing food, but also them developing their own personal development, how they grow. So there are certain things that they did agriculturally around summer solstice, which we're up upon soon. But it was also things they did energetically and spiritually, emotionally. during that time because of what they have learned from nature and how the things move in nature and flow in nature. So it's really a beautiful thing. I'm just as grateful as everyone else who comes here. And I feel honored to be in a place where I'm trusted to be the steward and the facilitator of a lot of people's journey, especially with the members that I have and everything. Is a beautiful thing to see their lives opening up. I hear testimonials literally every day. So it's always a beautiful day. So I'm grateful.
So let's talk about, you're hearing a lot of testimonies, and that is awesome. But let's talk about some encouraging words you could give in this time for a lot of people who are searching, like you said, right? The people that, a lot of people aren't able to go to church, whatever that church looks like for them. They can't commune as they used to. And maybe they're seeing some things going on and they're experiencing some things. What encouragement could you share? What words of wisdom could you share for those people?
Excellent question. And it's been one that's been on my mind since even COVID-19 happened. And it was such an abrupt interruption to a lot of people's lives. The first thing I always say and I always remind everyone is that we are spiritual beings first, having a human experience. We're spiritual beings first, and we're having a human experience. And so the importance of understanding that is that you don't get too caught up, for the lack of better words, is really another word I'm looking for. You don't get too caught up with what's happening in this human experience. And I can explain that because I know it's hard to not get caught up when you maybe have lost your job, or maybe someone has gotten sick, or maybe you are really feeling the agony and the sadness and the despair from everything that's going on with the racial injustices right now and the protests and the things of that nature. We getting caught up is when you are in this experience and you forget or don't find it important to stop and pray and connect with our source of life, the source of life that's fueling everything here, to
Yeah.
ask for guidance, to seek guidance, to sit and listen for guidance. You don't make time don't think it's important to meditate, to breathe, to indulge in self-care, and not just pedicures and manicures, but self-care, like making sure your health is well, making sure that you are being self-reflective and checking in with yourself to see, am I okay? How am I feeling? How's my body feeling? How is my heart feeling? What is happening in my mind? As spiritual beings, it's very important, no matter what is happening, for us to not get so caught up and to make sure we connect with the divine, what people call God, what people call the creator, what some call Allah, what some call Jah Rastafari, whatever it is that you call it. We can't just do it for luxury. It has to be a lifestyle. It has to be a part, not just a part of our life. It has to be the reigning connection that we have. And then from there, we are guided on how we handle what's happening in the human experience. And so you see those who are connected, those who have kind of disconnected even before now, who more so depend upon their own knowledge and guidance when it comes to their wellness, when it comes to their wealth, when it comes to their relationships, when it comes to their career. You see them, they are actually giving thanks right now. It's a lot of beautiful experiences happening for them. They're saying, man, I needed this, and this has been great for me. And, everything is going well for me. And even in the protesting and things of that nature, they feel it, but they know what to do. They don't feel despair. They don't feel hopeless because they know where the power lies, because in their experience, they have experienced things that no one would ever understand, breakthroughs that no one would ever understand, things happening no one would ever understand. So they connect to that source. When you're
Mm.
in this world, it's so, especially with everything happening right now,
Yeah.
any system that you thought you could depend on right now is
Yeah.
absolutely crumbling in front of your face. And so that can really have people so afraid, so much like in despair and so sad and angry and like frantic. But
Yeah.
it's important, again, for us to remember that we are spiritual beings first, having a human experience, which means that no matter what is happening in this human experience, because we are spiritual beings, we'll be all right. So,
That's
in
good.
short, I don't know how to make that short, but in
Oh,
short,
no.
the advice is remember that you are a spiritual being first. And in this human experience, if you tap into spirit, and if you don't know what that looks like, what that sounds like, how you do that and everything, that's okay. Have the desire to know, and it'll come to you. Anytime you have a heart's desire and you really have that as a heart desire, it can come to you. But tune into spirit and be
Yeah.
guided on what to do next, no matter what is happening in this world.
This is SandyB, and I am excited that you are here and you chose to listen to this podcast so you can be encouraged and you can go get your wins because you too can be a goal getter. If you'd like to hear more, feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Download this podcast, share it with your friends, and leave a comment, leave a review. Hopefully, it's positive. We will definitely take those and just continue to allow yourself to plan and prepare and envision your 90-day wins. Enjoy. Thank you. That's a word. I know you've been talking with me about some things and some thoughts and what, some things that I am working on based on what we've talked about in my energy clearing. Something you said to me a couple of weeks ago at the farm that just kind of has stayed with me. And it was something along the lines of, once you freed yourself from the need of having to rely financially on whatever to provide,
Mm.
once you freed yourself from that, you just had abundance. So can you talk a little bit about what that looks like? Because I know a lot of us, a lot of the listeners, like you said, may have lost a job or are venturing out into different business opportunities. And that can be a time of concern and frustration. And obviously, based on what you said, we all need to seek that spirit guidance, right? But can you share a little bit about your experience in letting go and just being blessed by that?
Mm. Yeah, that's big. So, my background as a teacher, I was paid a regular check, same amount, every month I could bank on it. And so, as a full time entrepreneur, that habit to always check my bank account and expect a certain amount in the bank account and keeping a certain amount in the bank account to be comfortable, it's not always there. And so I had to do something about that. I would get stressed about it. That's what I was leaving. That's what I'm leaving out. I would get stressed about it. I would just be like, oh, and what that stress did as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, what that stress did is had me go down roads and got me caught up in things that was not in alignment with my heart's desire, was not in alignment with the mission that I was on, was not in
Yeah.
alignment with the vision. It was something that I could do and I did it well and I made money from it, but it was not, it always became a burden because it was not in alignment with what I knew I should be doing. And so I knew I had to switch my mindset. I had to do some kind of shift into my mindset because I do understand energy. I understand that mind becomes matter, hands down, it's law. I know that the mind is the most powerful thing it creates, so the more we think about things, the more we begin to see it in our experience. And so, although I kept feeling like, man, my desire is for money, I'm gonna put this in my heart's desire, what was conflicting is the fact that although my desire was to be financially free and financially abundant and debt free and all these different things, my vibration was on lack. My vibration was consistently on lack because of the worry I had. Am I going to have enough next month? Am I going to have enough to pay my bill tomorrow? So there are a few things that I had to do to shift the mindset and to align with abundance. And I can offer a few things. What I can say is you have to just be committed to these things, because sometimes the things that I'm about to mention, you don't see the immediate, actualization of these things immediate. You go do some work, you get a check in your hand. That's immediate. You go and get a contract, it's $30,000. You do the work, it catches you up for 6 months doing some work, but you got the $30,000. Okay. No, most of these things are not like that. You just have to be clear and know that everything is always working out for you. So one of the things that I did, I tell this story sometimes, and I try to make it quick because I know we don't have a lot of time, but I tell this story all the time. When I left the university system, everyone was like, what are you doing? You leaving this good paying job? I can't believe it. You're just starting to get tenured. What is happening? But I was like, I know I don't supposed to be here. I know. And one of the things about me, I'm not going to stay working somewhere disgruntled. I think it's disrespectful to the Most High. I think it's disrespectful to yourself. I think it's disrespectful to the company, no matter how you feel like, they're mistreating you. Once you realize that it's not for you, I think it's better to just leave. Do something to manifest another position. So I was getting impatient and disgruntled. So I said, let me resign and do what I was supposed to be doing full time and quit playing. So I left. I resigned. Everything was amicable. It was great. I had some ducks lined up. I had some pots of money that I could live off of for at least 6 months, maybe a year if I stretch it. Great. So first month, I'm feeling good, feeling great. Then come time to pay bills. And I went to go to pay my bills. I went to go check the money or whatever. And absolutely not one of the pots was available. The money was there, but it was not available. And I don't know, I can't even remember. I want to go back now and see was it Mercury retrograde. But at that time, I wasn't really into Mercury retrogrades and all of that. I was doing spiritual work, but I wasn't really into the astrology piece or the cosmic piece. But I'm almost freaking out. I'm like, okay, what is happening? I'm talking about some of us like it's going to take 30 days. Some of us like one of the contracts is tied up with the school system. It was going to take 90 days, all of these different things. And here I was, all the bills due and literally under $10 in my bank account. So wow. I was like, okay, I see what's happening. The Most High is like, okay, you want to do this full time? You want to sit here and tell people about how they can manifest their desires and how meditation is powerful and visualization is powerful and you the law of attraction woman and all this kind of stuff? Do it. Mm-hmm. Show me. Do it. That's how I take it now. And then I was like, oh, Lord. So I went to one of my favorite exercises, scripting exercise. It was a scripting exercise. I calmed myself down. I lit a green candle for prosperity. I boiled some cinnamon and some cloves on the stove so I can have the smell of cinnamon through my house. I sat down with my aventurine gemstone and I had my manifestation book. And I sat and I began to script a thank you letter. It's like a thank you in advance letter. So how this exercise go is you put yourself in a space where wherever you are, I always imagine myself like on a beach chilling with several people around me who I like to hang out with. And I'm just chilling, writing the letter. And I'm just writing it as an expression to the Most High. I'm not writing to anyone. I'm just writing it because I'm just so grateful and so peaceful. So the letter goes something like, I just give thanks for my life. I give thanks how things have worked out. I give thanks that I'm never in need of resources. I always have what I need. Everything always come on time. Everything is always paid. And I always have money for more. And I always have the resources I need to support other people. I just give thanks for this and that. And you go on and on and on. And I sat for like 5 hours and it felt so great. And I got up and my heart was so light and I was just singing and I went on about my day. And the bills were due. But I just took it off my mind. And every time I felt stressed, I would continue that letter. Sometimes I would do it all the way over again. And I would always say mantras to myself. Everything is always working out. Everything is always working out. I am of the same source of life that created the worlds. I am of the same source of life that created oak trees out of the smallest seed you can think of, that big tree come out of. I am the same. So, and I would just go on and on and on and on and on anytime I would get stressed. So sure enough, on the 5th of the month now, 5th of the month, I said, well, let me just call one of these bank accounts and see what's going on. And so I called one, and when the little machine, the phone, the automated lady said the amount, I had to hang up and call back because I was in disbelief. I hung up and I called back, put my number in again. And then I was still in disbelief. Look at me, woe you disbelievers. But I pressed 0. I need to talk to a representative. I said, hey, I was just wanting to know my balance. She told me the same balance. I got in my car immediately, went to the ATM, took out as much as I could take out. And the next day I went and took the rest out. It's like that was enough to pay all the bills. And then I called this other account that I had. Same thing happened. Long story short, I not only had the money to pay my bills, but I had enough money to live for about 3 months off of that money. And that's not even the money that was opening up. So, that testimony is so real. It's so real. I still to date don't know where that money came. Well, I know where it came from, but you know what I mean? Like, oh, that must have came from your this or that. No. I can't tell you, I can't show you on black and white where that money came from. But all I know is that energy is real, because my heart was so light. My heart was so joyous. And I was so convinced. I was so, like, I felt it. I was there. I was there on that beach. I was chilling. It was somebody, beautiful souls around me. I don't know. I didn't see faces, but I felt it. And we were all happy and joyous and successful together. And that was the beautiful way for that to just jump off my venture, me going full time. And so besides scripting and those mantras that I mentioned, I do a lot of prosperity rituals. I do those on every Thursday. During the waxing moon, I do it to attract, and during the waning moon, I dispel anything that no longer serves me in association with my money and my expansion and my advancement. So a lot of the things that I do is just through spirit. I address everything through spirit. So whether I'm experiencing low money, which gratefully I haven't experienced because of, the concerted and consistent and continual spirit work. But whenever I feel like I need a little something, because I do sometimes have projects where I say, okay, I could use a good advance or something like that, I will go into spirit. I will script about it. Maybe I'll visualize it. I may do a prosperity meditation where I visualize money in my belly. And I visualize myself floating. The floating piece is really important because you have to have a light heart in order to attract the things that you desire. And so I do it through prayer and through meditation and through mantra and through lightheartedness, through not worrying about it. So I don't have a habit of looking at my bank account anymore. Gratefully, when I look at it, it's beautiful, So, but I don't have a habit of looking at it no more. And I'm so grateful because that burden is gone. And I look back and know how much that was a struggle for me. And I'm just really grateful about that. But those are the way. I mean, I'm really about spirit work, because as a spiritual being, that's really where our current is. We say currency, but the current of abundance and of healing and of anything is when you connect with spirit, when you connect with source.
Yeah. Wow. That's an amazing testimony. And I am encouraged by it personally, and I know the listeners will be as well. So to wrap up, we will have to definitely talk, because I want to talk so much more about some specific things that you gave us just a little piece of. But would you mind just telling everyone how they can get in touch with you if they'd like to and learn more about what you're doing?
Sure. So I'm on pretty much, I won't say all social media platforms, but Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you just put Queen, Queen, Yenn, Yenn in your browser, All of them should really pop up. I'm on, in the link in my bios will take you to everything that I offer. My newsletter and everything else, my new moon and full moon meditations, the services, the products.
Your coaching too, sorry.
So, yeah. So it'll take you to my calendar, which my calendar has the coaching, the readings, the energy clearings, the meditation sessions, whether it's new moon, full moon, or here in the garden, because I offer that as well. You can also go onto my website, queenyenn.com, queenyenn.com. That is where you can shop, and you can also sign up for my newsletter and also reach out if you desire. You can do that on their website, queenyenn.com. So on Instagram, it's queen_yen. On Facebook, it is Queen Yenn. On YouTube, it is Queen Yenn. So you can pretty much find me across the board there.
Perfect. And I'll be sure to link your contacts in the show notes as well. So I thank you so much, Queen Yenn. I look forward to learning and bringing you back to talk on the 90 Day Win podcast, because you gave us so many good keys. So I look forward to being able to come back and talk with you and share with the audience what you have going on and some other things we can learn, because we definitely need to get in tune with our spirits. So thank you again.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, sis. Peace.
Come get your wins with the 90 Day Wins podcast, where we talk to goal getters. You can check us out at 90daywins.com. That's 90daywins with an S.com. That's our website, where you can check out our blog, where we give more in-depth notes and conversation about the interviews with our goal getters. Also, you can check us out on social media, 90daywins.com. That's on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. This is your host, SandyB, and I'm encouraging you to go get your wins every 90 days on the 90 Day Win podcast.